Welcome, one and all, to the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast for our preview and prediction for Evolution is a Mystery. Oh, wait, wrong Evolution.
Settle.
Sorry.
Wrong Evolution.
Sorry, I figured any pay-per-view with this name would have, like, Triple H and Ric Flair, Batista, Randy Orton in the main event.
Don't rule out Triple H.
True. But we will get there. So, I am your King of Extreme, Phil KOE, joined by my indomitable broadcast partner, the reigning, defending, colluding, Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast champion for now.
Just pick better.
Well, I don't have a collusion partner to secretly feed me tips like he obviously, clearly, plainly does. But that's neither here nor there, because we are moving forward to Evolution.
I'm Tony G.
So, this has been a pay-per-view that's been a long time coming.
Yep, long overdue. It's going to be a good card. Unfortunately, a lot of things felt rushed, and at the same time, a lot of things feel a little bit pushed to the back burner. They neglected it on the go-home shows. Unfortunate, because overall, pretty stacked card.
Yes, it's going to be a great card with wrestling.
Yep. Actual
wrestling in it. You're going to see wrestling kind of peek through the window of sports entertainment for a moment. I know. Forbid it. But this pay-per-view, I think, is going to be a wonderful exhibition of wrestling. But the biggest problem is the majority of the audience is getting exposed to some of the talent on this show for the very first time.
Yeah.
And that's a failure in build-up.
It is.
That's just all that is. It was either laziness, failure, and to be fair, things have been going on at the moment.
There's been a lot going on in the sports entertainment universe, and that's a video for another time. But
that it is.
This pay-per-view promotion has really suffered because of it, but the quality of the matches will not. So, that being said, let's jump right into the card. First up, I think I'm assuming it's going to be the Riott Squad versus Sasha, Natalya,
that's going to be the
Bayley.
Opener if that's not on the pre-show.
It probably should be the opener. I think that'll be a good match to get people jump-started for the show, and Sasha hasn't really been on TV dealing with head problems.
Go ahead. I think all 6 girls deserve way better than this. They do this on Raw and SmackDown every week.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw them in a 6-women tag match.
But that being said, they're going to use this chance to steal the show, A lot of them are going to put every bit of effort that they can into this, because this is a different type of platform. But yes, like you said, this is a match that we've seen before. It's very much mirrors many that we have seen. Yeah. But Sasha being off TV for a while, she's going to step up. I think it's going to be a pretty good match overall. Who do you got?
Not only is Bayley, Sasha, Natty going to win, I'm actually going to go so far as say it's going to Sasha to get the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that at all. That's
that's how that's going to work. Riott Squad's going to do some cheating deviousness,
Yeah, there's nobody else over in the match as Sasha Banks. So, yeah, I would agree 100%. Sasha Banks get the win for their team.
Moving right along down the card, folks. We're going to go to the Women's Battle Royal.
Yep.
Now, we're going to do kind of an abbreviated version of what we did for the Royal Rumble and Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah, there's not as many participants in this one.
A number 1 top pick, 2 points. Your secondary pick, worth 1 point. And then we'll give you a dark horse as basically a tiebreaker, if necessary. Okay. It doesn't really count for any points, but if it comes down to a tie, we'll have the dark horse be the tiebreaker. Okay. So, all that being said, as champion, I will give you first picks.
It's pretty simple, my top pick. It's got to be Asuka. I know it's weird because she did win the Royal Rumble, and ever since then, in her match at WrestleMania, it's just been tanked. Logic would say they probably don't redeem her, but I think she's the only logical pick in this situation. So I gotta have Asuka as my number 1 pick. My number 2, oh man, I went back and forth on this, but I'm gonna have my worth 1 point pick is going to be Ember Moon.
And who's your dark horse?
Ooh, my dark horse. I'm going to come back to that.
Okay.
Go ahead, give me your top 2.
Well, folks, this is going to be a rather interesting one here in the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast because my number 1 pick to actually win this was going to be Ember Moon.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so I figure my number 2 pick, even though I wish it was number 1, you know it's not to be, is Asuka. Okay. That was my number 2 pick was Asuka, just because she's just been so ruined in the last few months. Yeah. I mean, Ronda versus Asuka was the obvious next year's WrestleMania coming into WrestleMania, and look how they botched that. So, my dark horse, former member of Sanity, Nikki Cross. I don't even care if she's not been named onto the card. She could show up. Why wouldn't there be a surprise in this battle royal?
Sure.
And she would make a very interesting impact and all that, winning it out of nowhere, and she's kind of got that odd win gimmick anyway. So
since she's fallen off, I can't really go with Carmella. I can't.
She is money. I mean, she could just moonwalk her way right to victory there, folks.
I can't do it, so dark horse, let's go with Zelina Vega.
Okay, Sonya Vega. All right.
There you go.
All right.
That's a good enough dark horse. I mean, it's not going to happen.
I'm skeptical on mine, but you know what? Right. Throw it out there.
Next up, unfortunately, this one, this sucks. I'm just going to flat out say it because this should have been
I will just let you take this. Are you going to be okay through this?
This should have been 2 different singles matches. It's not. It should have been a different match altogether. It's not. Unfortunately, an injury is keeping the goddess, Alexa Bliss, out of the match. So now we have Alicia Fox, Mickie James versus Trish Stratus and Lita. This is going to be a really good match. I think that Trish and Lita are going to use this as a platform to really do stuff that they couldn't have done during the era that they were on top. You know, this is a big chance to re-shine, if you will. Mickie James, same thing. She comes from that same era as well. Alicia Fox, she's still a good worker. She's a vet now.
I think she's actually the longest running roster member on the women's roster at this moment. So she's the veteran of the locker room as of right now.
And Alexa will be at ringside, so at least we have that going for us. But,
so Alexa's at ringside?
Yes. So who do you
got?
That
does change some things. Okay. No, it doesn't, Lita and Trish. Oh my goodness. Okay. Really?
You're going with Lita Trish?
Yeah.
Alright. Well,
I'm yes.
When this was a singles match, I had Alexa beating Trish because that makes sense, right? That makes sense. You're pushing Alexa, push her over Trish. When it became a tag match, I still had Alexa and Mickie winning.
Was that just you marking out?
A little.
Okay.
A little. And then I thought about it, I'm like, if they stick around a little while, Lita and Trish need the win here. And you can even have Mickie get pinned. So even now that Alicia Fox is in the match, obviously it's going to be Lita and Trish.
Oh yeah, Lita and Trish, they're back in the game and they got a taste of it and giving them a little gimme win in the front. That's how I think they're going to pull them all the way to WrestleMania, which has to be where they're going to be needed eventually. So
that's
that one, no surprises there. Moving on down the line.
The finals of the Mae Young Classic. This one's going to be hopefully good. Unfortunately, I did not watch the tournament, so I don't have a lot of insight here, but we have Shirai versus Storm in the finals of the Mae Young Classic number 2. This one's simple for me. I got to pick Toni Storm for obvious reasons.
Well, that being said, just for the sake of argument, that and another top-level Japanese star, I'm going to go with Shirai.
I almost went that way, but I think if Asuka wins Battle Royal, I don't think they're going to do 2 different demographics because let's face it.
Well, she's not going to because Ember Moon is going to win the Women's Battle Royal. Okay. I mean, are we really going to make Asuka the queen of the Battle Royals where she can't follow through with it?
Maybe.
Ouch. That would not be a good gimmick. Ouch.
But another reason I picked the way I did in that match is because of the next match, Kairi Sane, Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's title. This one is going to be a really good match. This one dates back to the Mae Young Classic from last year.
From what I've seen of those two in NXT, this one, it could be a barn burner, folks.
It will be. And the thing about it is, I couldn't pick Shirai on that one because I got Kairi Sane in this one. So,
that being said, I think her opponent is going to be getting an NXT call-up soon.
I think
and
so,
that's
too.
why I think Kairi is going to walk that plank all the way to victory, folks. Yes, that was necessary.
Okay.
Absolutely necessary. I pull out all the stops for the KOE Nation and the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast.
Okay. So now we get to the SmackDown Women's Championship Last Woman Standing match. Champion Becky Lynch versus challenger Charlotte Flair. This is going to be a hell of a match. I'm pretty damn excited for it.
As champion, I'll give you champion's pick.
You know, as much as they like to hotshot titles onto Charlotte, and as much as it would probably make sense to put the belt on her here, the thing that holds me back is if they keep the title on Becky Lynch, which they absolutely should, because she's white hot, they need to just forget about it. She's not a heel. She's a heel in the way Stone Cold Steve Austin was a heel. She's over as shit, okay? Yeah, heel. She couldn't be more over, and it doesn't matter what she does. Even if she plays a cowardice, she's over as a heel. It doesn't matter.
The audience has accepted her as an anti-hero regardless.
That's what she is. That's what they need. So if you keep the belt on her here, the next event that they would be going into would be Survivor Series. At this point, we still have no idea what Survivor Series is going to look like. But if they do the head versus head, Raw versus SmackDown, I think it makes more sense to keep the title on Becky Lynch here because of who the title is going to be on Monday Night Raw. And we'll get to that in a moment. But that's why I'm picking Becky Lynch to retain one way or another. Obviously, it's last woman standing. It's not going to be a double DQ or something weird like that. Somehow she's going to trap her. I don't know. Becky walks out with the title. She wins the match. There you go.
So, you got Becky.
I got Becky.
She's white hot. Crowd loves her no matter how they book her.
Yeah.
She can do no wrong even when she does wrong by the fans. Yep. She's basically being set up to be the female Stone Cold, and she could carry the women's division into the next generation.
Yep.
That's why they're going to put the belt on Charlotte.
I had a feeling you were going to go that way.
Yeah, unfortunately, you are absolutely right with every single word you just said. And it will be irrelevant because it will be Charlotte.
I know. I'm hoping here it makes more sense to keep it on, because if you keep it on Becky, and we'll get to it, but if the champion is Ronda Rousey, you can't do the Ronda versus Charlotte match on Survivor Series, and then still try to build it at WrestleMania.
I think WWE will just kind of change up the card to okay, Raw and SmackDown aren't going head to head because that was kind of a dumb idea to have our two world champions fight. Yeah. So they could very easily get themselves out of that one.
Well, that's the reason I'm picking the way I'm picking. But we do have a conflicting pick there. Good. Hope it comes down to that match because I like my chance. I do.
All right.
The main event:
Ronda versus Nikki.
Ronda Rousey, champion. Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey. Still a little weird to say that, but it is what it is. She's over too.
She's one of the better wrestlers I've seen in a long time, and she hasn't had a lot of matches.
No.
Granted, she's had some veterans to help her carry her through.
I think the actual win total is 26-0 right now, and that's obviously including house show matches and triple threat, triple tag matches on house shows.
You think they might try to go for the Goldberg?
No. It ain't going to get that far. But it is Ronda. She's undefeated. It's Nikki Bella. I don't think Nikki's back in the limelight for the long haul. She's still like a John Cena persona at this point. She's going to come and go as she wants.
Maybe cool off on those comparisons for a little while.
Sorry, you're right. My bad. She's like an Undertaker.
There we go.
There you go. So, all that being said, it's going to be a fun match. It's going to be a good main event. Ronda's walking out still the champ. We all know it. She's way more marketable right now, and that's how you close out this pay-per-view. Ronda is the champion.
But the question is, the Bellas have their television show Total Bellas.
Yep. Okay.
About to have a new season on.
Okay.
And what could possibly bring their ratings up more than having Nikki Bella defeat the champion, Ronda Rousey.
True. That's a good point.
That all being said, that's why I think the ending is ultimately going to be Nikki with a roll-up pin and then Ronda countering it to an armbar. Obviously, Ronda. So
there you go. Okay.
I have to mislead you a little bit once in a while, folks. So
fair enough.
That is our predictions and previews for Evolution.
Now, don't forget about it like the WWE has. It is on tomorrow,
yes,
Sunday.
We'll be watching it.
Yep.
We don't know if, like, the guys in the truck will. But
that's true.
We will be watching it. So
going to be a good card.
Yes, it's going to be some great wrestling, folks.
Can't wait.
I am your King of Extreme, Phil KOE, signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner.
Hopefully still champion after tomorrow, because it's a sketchy prediction on this one, so we will see.